CBS News senior national security analyst Fran Townsend is a former Homeland Security advisor to President George W. Bush. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Lots of questions are being asked. Let's begin with this. Who might be behind this? Because police say they know but are not disclosing.
That's right. It's a very sensitive right. In the first 24 to 48 hours, Charlie, what they're trying to understand is now that they know who the individual is who is dead, who was shot by police, they're identifying his associates. They're looking at things, not only his home, they'll look at his electronic communications. They'll get hold of everything they can to try and understand who influenced him. If they're in London, do they pose a threat? And I think that's what we're seeing play out in the raids in Birmingham and the recent arrests.
Fran, this is the third vehicle attack in Europe over the past year. What's your impression of the connection, if any, there?
Well, you know, yesterday, the day of the attack, was the one-year anniversary of Brussels. We've seen, as you mentioned, the Berlin Christmas market attack and the Nice promenade attack. And we know that ISIS has called for such attacks. You know, this is one of these things. They put out a public call, and every alienated, unhappy human, right, it's their moment. And so I think that's what Chief Rowley is referring to when he says it's sort of inspired by international terror.
Fran, from a security perspective, what can be done to prevent future vehicle attacks?
These are the most difficult sort of attacks to anticipate and prevent. And so what you see is you take the Eiffel Tower is now putting up these plexiglass, bulletproof glass. Iconic places will take measures to put a perimeter there. But, you know, the idea is to get these intelligence-driven operations to identify the individuals before the day where they decide this is my moment. And you put the perimeters there at iconic places to try and protect tourists, frankly.
Is there a strong sense of shared information about terrorism today?
You know, I will tell you, Charlie, there is no one the U.S. intelligence community shares more transparently with than our British counterparts. And so I feel confident that the American intelligence agencies are acting today as if this happened here. The question has been the greater sort of challenges within Europe, the sharing of information. And we see post-Brussels and Paris greater efforts to be made to have European intelligence agencies do a better job of sharing. But I'll tell you, the pros in Europe are the British. And so they do this better than anybody.
It is a complicated landscape. Fran Townsend,
Sure.
good to see you. Thanks for that.
Sure.